What is up, guys? MCMMA here, and in today's video I am going to be reacting to last night's fight night headlined by Gabriel Bonfim and Randy Brown. Overall, this was a pretty good card, like entertainment wise. I know it wasn't very good on paper, just in terms of like the matchups. Not many big names, not many ranked opponents, or not many ranked fights, but I said in my preview that there was a lot of underrated fights on this card, and that ended up delivering. A lot of finishes, a lot of entertaining fights. I don't think there's a single decision on the main card, so this was a good fight night. And I mean, like as we all know, we're just waiting for UFC 322 next weekend, so this was a pretty good card to get us ready for that. Let's get right into this breakdown. All right, in the main event, Gabriel Bonfim knocked out Randy Brown in round two. Bonfim looked great in this fight. His striking looked much, much improved from his last outing against Wonderboy. He was really chewing up Randy Brown's lead leg with the calf kicks in the first round, and his hands looked pretty crisp too. He was obviously able to get that super well timed knee for the knockout in the second round. You could argue that it was maybe an early stoppage, but I think that even if Dan Miragliotta didn't stop it immediately, I think that he would have had to stop it very soon, since Randy Brown was pretty out of it. Even though he wasn't like fully unconscious, like he was super dazed, and I think that a couple follow-up shots from Bonfim would have really put him out. So I'm not mad at the stoppage at all, and I really don't think, like, I get maybe some of the people that were picking Randy Brown would be mad at it. I picked Randy Brown too, but I mean, he was not looking great. I did not really see a path to victory for him, given the way that fight was going. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of Randy Brown's performance, pretty disappointing. I thought that he was going to put on a much better striking performance than he did. I mean, I thought, like, I and most people thought coming into this one that the main threat was going to be Bonfim's grappling and submission ability, but Gabriel Bonfim didn't shoot a single takedown this whole fight, and he was outstriking Randy Brown on the feet. He looked much better than Randy Brown on the feet. He looked a lot more confident, and Randy Brown, he was really never able to get his striking going. He didn't look very confident, and yeah, disappointing. I mean, this has kind of been a recurring theme for Randy Brown. Whenever he gets the big fight, he's just not able to deliver. This happened when he fought Vicente Luque back in the day, happened against JDM, happened again here now against Gabriel Bonfim. When he gets the big fight, the fight that would push him towards the rankings, build up his name, he just hasn't been able to get it done. And yeah, I mean, he's 35. I don't think there's going to really be another run in the future for him, so I think he's kind of just going to be a gatekeeper in the top 15 for the rest of his career. But great performance from Gabriel Bonfim. He should definitely be getting a top 10 opponent next. I know he called out Colby Covington. I doubt that one happens, just because Colby like never wants to fight, and he's definitely not going to want to fight an up and coming contender like Gabriel Bonfim. But he should get a top 10 opponent, and I was very impressed by his performance. All right, next up in the co-main event, Joseph Morales defeated Matt Schnell by a first round submission. I did pick Morales by submission in this one, but I did not think he was going to get it done as quickly as he did. It's not. I mean, Schnell is a good grappler. He's always been a good grappler. A lot of his wins come by submission. So, submitting him that easily is not a very easy thing to do, as opposed to knocking him out, which we know is very easy to do. But Morales looked good. I was impressed by his performance. He delivered on the expectations that he had coming into this one. I think he's probably pretty close to a ranking at this point. I know this was his first real UFC win, but Matt Schnell is a vet. I mean, he's a guy who's been in the division for a long time. He was ranked for a very long time. So I think he's probably one fight away from a ranking at this point. And I mean, the UFC put him in the co-main slot for this fight night in his debut, in his UFC debut. So that proves that they think highly of him. And I'm excited to see what's next for Morales. All right, next up, Uros Medic gets the first round knockout over Muslim Salikov. I mean, super impressive from Uros Medic. Just put the pressure on Salikov from the moment the fight started. Salikov was on the back foot the entire time, couldn't really get anything going, and Medic was able to find the knockout shot like basically a minute into the fight. So another banger from Uros Medic. He's a guy whose his fights are always super entertaining, win or lose. It's always some finish, and beating a guy like Salikov is pretty impressive, because Salikov was on a pretty solid win streak coming into this fight, beating some good opponents like Santiago Ponzinibbio, Carlos Leal. So this was not like it was not a given that he was going to win this fight. I know he was a slight favorite, but I know a lot of people picked Muslim Salikov, myself included. So props to Uros. Great fight or great performance from him. He is probably going to be pretty close to a ranking. Honestly, I think a fight against a guy like Randy Brown would make a lot of sense because Randy is obviously like right outside of the rankings, having just lost to a ranked opponent, and Uros is like a fight or two away. So I think that would make a ton of sense. And as for Muslim Salikov, I mean, he's 41, but I don't think he's going to retire immediately. It seems like he wants to keep fighting. And I think the Wonder Boy fight makes a ton of sense for him. I know he has been calling for that one. And I mean, it makes sense. They're both super fun strikers to watch. They're both very old at this point, and I think it'd be a good fight for the fans. So, Dana, get that one done. All right, next up, Chris Padilla knocks out Ismael Bonfim in round 2. Uh, I can't remember if I picked Padilla or Bonfim in my predictions video, but after Ismael Bonfim missed weight, I like officially picked Chris Padilla by finish, and he did what I thought. I mean, Bonfim didn't look great. I mean, he looked solid in the first round, but he gassed out super quickly. I think part of that probably had to do with the bad weight cut. But props to Padilla, good performance. Still undefeated in the UFC. Kind of feel bad for him because he was asking for the bonus in his post-fight interview. I think he said his mom lives in like a trailer or something. But he should have known that Dana does not like begging, and Dana also does not like paying his fighters appropriately. So I'm not shocked that he didn't get any money, but it kind of sucks for him. But he's on. He's got some good momentum going. He should probably fight somebody in kind of like the upper tier of the unranked lightweights, like kind of like Fares Ziam, Nazim Sadikov. I know those dudes are booked to fight each other, but kind of like guys in that range that are like right outside of the rankings, like Ludovic Klein's up there, Quillian Salkiel, Mauricio Rufy. I get actually Rufy's ranked, but you know what I'm saying. The guys like right underneath the top 15. I think Padilla should probably get one of them since he's undefeated so far in the lightweight division, which is not easy to do at all. Since we know, especially unranked, lightweight is probably the most competitive division in the entire UFC. So props to Padilla for another win, and Bonfim, yeah, not looking great for him, especially with that bad weight miss. Christian Leroy Duncan with the big knockout over Marco Tulio with the spinning back elbow on top. Like, that was a sick knockout. CLD, great performance from him, man. He was in control of the fight from the moment that it started. He was keeping Tulio at range. He was hitting him with some big shots. A lot of spinning stuff. He's super fun to watch, and especially since his loss against RoboCop like mid last year, he's improved a ton from that. I think that was probably a good learning experience for him. And he's a guy who's also like, he's right on the verge of getting a ranked opponent, especially after an impressive performance like this, beating a guy who is very highly regarded, Marco Tulio. I would like to see CLD get either a ranked opponent or somebody like right outside the rankings, like a Jack Hermanson maybe. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what's next for CLD. That was an amazing performance from him. And as for Marco Tulio, I mean, he's still got a pretty bright future. Losing to an opponent like Christian Leroy Duncan in your second fight in the UFC, like, that's nothing to scoff at. He still looked solid at points in the fight. I think this is going to be a good learning experience for him, and I think he should bounce back and come back stronger. All right, on to the prelims. Jamal Emmers defeats Haider Emil by decision. Great performance from Emmers. He mixed in the grappling super well to kind of throw off Haider. He was able to make Haider gas out, which was very impressive since Haider's game plan is generally to get his opponents to gas out. And yeah, Emmers looked good on the feet and on the ground. So excited to see what's next for him. This was his best performance in a long time, maybe in his entire UFC career. As for Haider, kind of disappointing for him. I think it might be over for him in terms of kind of any real hopes of getting to the rankings, since he is pretty old at this point. I think he's like 36, and he was kind of getting battered in this one. He didn't look great. He wasn't able to push the pace like he normally does. Like I said, he was the one who ended up gassing out. So tough for Haider, but good performance from Jamal Emmers. Raoni Barcelos defeats Ricky Simone by decision, as I predicted. Barcelos, man, he's on a roll right now. I think his resurgence is pretty legit. He's beating good. He's been beating good opponents consistently, like Peyton Talbot, Cody Garbrandt, Ricky Simone, like good opponents, and he's been able to do it in multiple different ways too. Like he beat Talbot and Garbrandt a lot by mixing in his grappling, and in this fight he was able to outstrike Ricky Simone. I think he should get a ranked opponent, to be honest. I know that he's super old and he's not necessarily a big name or prospect, but he's earned it at this point, especially since Peyton Talbot is fighting number 10 ranked Henry Cejudo, and Barcelos literally beat him at the start of this year. As for Simone, I mean, he'll be fine. Like this, he looked good. He looked good in this fight. Barcelos was just a little bit better. Uh, yeah, good performance from Johnny Barcelos. He was able to outcraft Ricky Simone as I predicted, and I really hope he gets a ranked opponent because he definitely deserves it. Jacqueline Cavalcanti beats Mayra Bonasilva by decision. Like I said, she was going to beat her. I mean, she's just better. Mayra Bonasilva sucks. She should probably get cut. Like she's just horrible at fighting. And Cavalcanti probably going to get like a top 5 opponent since she is one of the probably like 3 or 4 fighters in the bantamweight division that is actually competent. So props for her, but Mayra Bonasilva, you're just so bad, like so ass at fighting. I can't believe she fought for the belt like less than 2 years ago. Josh Hokett gets the big knockout over Max Gimenez. Hokett looks pretty good. He looks like he could be a real problem at heavyweight. He's way faster than probably 95% of the division, and we know he has the wrestling background, so he could definitely cause some problems for a lot of these heavyweight guys, especially since he's a total like he's a loudmouth. I thought that his post fight interview was kind of corny. He kind of just copied Chael like word for word, bar for bar. But that is going to get some of the fans going. Some of the less intelligent fans are going to love that. And I mean, he called out Walter Walker. That would be pretty hilarious. I think the build-up would be very funny since we know Walter Walker likes to talk some shit too. So, I mean, like, why not get it done? Like, that's one of the few fights in the division that could actually maybe stir up some interest. So, Hokett, I think he's kind of annoying personality-wise, but he is definitely a good fighter. Like, I can tell you that much. Denise Gomez beats Tisha Pennington by decision. Didn't watch this fight, I'm going to be totally honest, but like I said, or like I've been saying in a lot of my breakdown videos, you pick the more masculine looking one to win, and it works like 80% of the time, and that clearly worked in this one. Daniel Marcos gets the submission win over Miles Johns. Good performance from Marcos. Really good bounce back after his loss to Montel Jackson earlier this year. That was a pretty sick submission that he got, and he was looking good in the fight before that. For Miles Johns, I mean, I think he's on a 3-fight losing streak now, so he might be fighting for his job next. But I think he's still pretty solid. But he's a guy who's never gonna beat and he's never gonna beat like a ranked bantamweight. He's never gonna beat any guy that's like right outside the rankings, like any probably like top 20 bantamweight. He's not gonna beat, but he's still a solid fighter. And great performance from Marcos. Very good bounce back after his first career loss earlier this year. And in the first fight of the night, Zachary Reese submits Jackson McVeigh. McVeigh was really putting it on him at the start of the fight. Like in the first round, he just kept forcing the clinch and battering Zach Reese in the clinch. But I mean, he clearly has zero grappling since Reese was able to take him down and submit him in like 15 seconds. I mean, I don't know if McVeigh's going to get cut after this one. I would say maybe give him one more fight since his striking did look pretty good. He really was like pushing it on Zach Reese. Reese looked like he was pretty close to getting stopped at a couple points, but he was able to turn it around and get the sub. And obviously he did take this fight on super short notice, so you got to cut him some slack. But McVeigh didn't look awful. He looked better than I thought. So I'd say maybe give him another fight. Maybe rebook actually no, Robert Valentin should definitely get cut after pulling out of this one on such short notice. But give him another fight in the UFC and see if he can stick around. All right, there is my review and recap of UFC Fight Night Bonfim versus Brown. Like I said at the start, this was a pretty good fight night, and this was really just to tide us over for UFC 322, which is this Saturday. Cannot fucking wait. That is absolutely card of the year. Honestly, one of the best cards of all time, and I will be back in a day or two with my breakdown and picks for that card, so stay tuned for that. As always, make sure to leave a like on the vid and subscribe to the channel, and thank you guys for watching.